Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
When Frank Gore runs on the field, you do think that he's a model of consistency because he's played so well throughout his career and year in and year out provides excellent numbers that help his team. But when I watch him play, what comes to mind for me is not just the consistency. It's how he attacks the game and how he respects the game. In fact, a general manager told me that when he drafts each and every year, what he looks for in every player is how does he relate to Frank Gore. He compares every player that he drafts to what Frank Gore puts on the field, and that's when he decides if he wants a player or not.
And a look now at the defense for Houston.
When you take a step back and look at the 2016 season, you're almost surprised to see that the Houston Texans led the NFL in total defense because J.J. Watt missed most of the season. And without their premier defensive end who can play defensive tackle, who can play outside linebacker, they've actually used him on offense occasionally as well. You wouldn't expect those numbers to be the same. So just think, in 2016, if Watt had played the entire year, maybe Houston goes deeper in the playoffs.
Block on 3rd down. Going deep for Moncrief. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
They run with Morris. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. We give you the numbers for Morris on the ground a week ago. 14 carries, 53 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
They run. It's Gore. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Locke. And the Colts are in for the touchdown. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be brought out by their rookie QB, the former Clemson Tiger, Deshaun Watson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Watson on 1st down. Underneath for Miller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Second down now after the pass completion. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Watson now to throw. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Here's the rookie from Texas, Deontay Foreman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A first scoring update now from Carolina, and it's the NFC champs, the Falcons, that have moved out to an early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Let's go! Brand 38!
On 1st and 10, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Come on, let's go!
To throw is Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
On 1st down, it's Long. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. A shotgun snap for Luck. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. Luck finding his emerging tight end Doyle for a Colt first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
This is Morris. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. They go with a screen to Gore. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
The Colts send out their punter. Back deep for the Texans, Will Fuller. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here's Watson under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Here we go.
From his goal line here, Watson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Fielded at the 43. Oh, it still won't go down. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Reminder later tonight, a good one down in Miami. It'll be the Raiders and the Dolphins. A lot of playoff history between those two in the 70s.
Yeah, there sure is.
And then tomorrow night, we wrap up Week 9, the unofficial halfway point of the season with the Lions and Packers from Lambeau. Now it's Morris. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Morris. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Here's Locke. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Morris. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. 2nd down, offense behind the sticks here, 2nd and 13. They run again with Morris. There he goes inside the 30. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Well, the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs. They'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Play fake to Gore. It's Locke. Looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
Let's go! Try it, 38! Try it, 38!
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Come on, let's go!
After the interception, here's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Throwing again is Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. 3rd down here.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Here's Watson. And finding Fedorowicz. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now it's Miller. Miller with a first down and more. Lamar Miller, the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and Lamar Miller caps it off with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now Moncrief to return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Luck. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
An update, meanwhile, from over in Jacksonville. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And a look now at Lamar Miller. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have it.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Margus Hunt able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. 2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Let's go! 38!
Back to throw, Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Shane Leckler now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting ready to go again here, Alfred Morris trots back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Luck now on second down. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good pickup there at 22. First down now, but the clock continues to move. On first down, Luck. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away.
Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. To throw on second is Watson. Pushing his way, Will Fuller. Nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller as the first half is winding down. And the Texans are in for 6. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter in Nashville. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it will stay tight throughout. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Started on the ground with Morris. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turned that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit him with...
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Al Woods breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's got it over the middle, Fedorowicz. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9, from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. J.J. Watt in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's got Moncrief. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost, but this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there. And it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll fake it. Now Locke. And he finds his man, Kamar Aiken. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
On the draw, Luck gives to Gore. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to the 18. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Back to throw, Love. His throw caught right around the 6. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, churning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a 1st down?
Well, that's the deal on third. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Alfred Morris with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Elsewhere, a third-quarter score. And the Saints have scored again, enjoying a comfortable cushion. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Let's go. Man 38.
On 1st down, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Let's go. Man 38. Ohio.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. Room here to run. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And our focus shifts here to Alfred Morris. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. Here's a handoff to begin the drive to Morris. Space to maneuver at the 40. Accelerating, and off he goes. 20. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Alfred Morris with his 2nd touchdown. The game number 8 on the season. And the Colts have got it back to a 1-score game. And the lead is down to a field goal now. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On first down, it's Watson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Al Woods in there to record. Another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. So the D gets the sack on first, and now it brings up second down.
Let's go! Fire 38! Fire 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Let's go!
Watson on first down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Here we go! Flex round!
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Watson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now a play fake here on first down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Love. Now they go screen. It's complete. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
First down, it's Love. And Aiken with it over the middle. Past the 20. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. A big play there for Indy. 48 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for second down. A shotgun snap for Love. This will be caught at about the 6. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and push it in with Gore. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space?
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alfred Morris, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Colts can now take the lead if they convert the extra point. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view. So
this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out comes Houston. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Check 26, check 26.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it, and it brings up 2nd down. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Texans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Let's go. 1-9.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Come on, let's go. Man 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design. Kickers like the ball in the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So they have a chance to take the lead, 1st and goal. Remember, they trailed by 15 in this one. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. They come out here in the I. Second down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal. And he'll be knocked down sideways. And they're going to get. Oh, what a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. And his kick here is good. That game's gone final, by the way, down in New Orleans. The gap's getting wider there. The Saints have scored again. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for the Texans, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.